X at night because I love myself. And I have to remind myself who I am because, like, yeah, I am someone who loves themselves, does things for their best and highest good. I don't know.
You know what? I think that's really wonderful because the way you put that, that's a really wonderful way to look at it. I mean, you can look at things a thousand million ways, and the best way to look at it is the way that's best for you to do the things that need to be done, right? And the way they need to be done. And when you said that, it just reminded me of when you said it that way, it was so cool because when you first of all, when you act out of love for anything in any way about it, it doesn't, when you act out of love, it doesn't matter whether it's for a thing or to a thing or a person, but when you act out of love, that's the highest form of all consciousness, right? Is love, right? That's the first really attribute that, God is love. Like that's what it is, right? That your awareness is love, right? And when you can bring that into your human experience, the remembrance of that and the awareness of that, and act out of it. And first and foremost, that love for yourself. Because as much as you, if you were to wash your hands and you put your hands under a sink, the pipe gets wet before your hand does. So whatever is coming out of there is going to be experienced by itself before it's expressed onto anything else. So the love that you are acting with and from towards yourself first, other people will get the benefit of, but you will be the first beneficiary. And when you can consciously do that on a consistent basis, love yourself, love literally yourself, act with love from yourself, for yourself, with yourself, to yourself, when you can start with you, to your point, it does make you do things that otherwise you wouldn't do. Whether it's in so-called willpower, discipline, whether it's in remembering, whether it's in executing it, whatever else it is, when you act out of love is the highest form if I were going to say power, is the highest form of power of ability, right? That is God's first attribute is love, right? God is love, right? God can do a lot of different things, but God is love, right? And when you are I am, when you are remembering who you are, that is your natural way of action and motion and activity anyway. So then essentially now you're operating off the truth now. Now you're operating in truth. And when you operate in truth, then you start to get the benefit of truth, which is freedom, right? So God is love, God is truth, God is freedom, right? It's not necessarily a cascading effect, but it starts to express itself. It rolls out almost like a fruit roll up or like a red carpet. It starts from one thing and it just keeps rolling out in that same awareness, in that same skill set, so to speak, in toolkit and abilities, right? So it is amazing when you said that. It just really made me think like, wow, if we were to love ourselves the way we want everyone else to, the way we want everyone, we want everyone to love us, to like us, to be loyal to us, to be kind to us, to tell us the truth. But we have the hardest time starting with ourselves. And that's literally like trying to turn the water on and not letting the pipes get wet in just your hand. It's like, how can you skip the pipe if the water's coming through the pipe? How can love skip you and you give it to someone else? It's just not possible. So when you are consistently acting on that and reminding yourself and remembering, because society in general, the world doesn't act that way, when you can consciously remember, remind yourself to do that, you are, it allows you to do things, like I said, other things, it allows you to do things that otherwise you would not, in ways that you would not, because now you're operating from your highest, from your true nature. And your true nature has a whole lot of other things come with it, like truth, like the truth comes from that love, and then freedom comes from that truth. And you start operating in all of your true, in your nature and all the true attributes that you possess as consciousness, as I am, as awareness, right? So, man, good for you. Good for you to find a way to make it work for you, to make it stick for you. It's a wonderful tool that you're using to remember who you are and to act like it. And the more you can remember and the more you act like it, the more you will get the outcomes of remembering who you are. It's all about remembering who you are. And whatever it takes to do that, do it. And so I'm glad that you have found something for that will help you, whether it's now and forever or just now, and you find something else later. But I'm glad that you have found something that allows you to act like you know, right? To know that you know. That's awesome. Wonderful. Congratulations. That's really cool. Yes, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Speaking of which, Latoya, I don't know if we'll get to it. We'll see. But, or maybe I'll write it on the board in the corner. Um,
I'm here, coach. We're headed to practice.
Okay, yeah, no, I know. I just thought about it. You just reminded me of something that I was working with someone else on the other day. Um, if we have time, I'll get back to it. But it kind of dovetails into what you're talking about, what you were just talking about, how you use something to, become aware and to keep your awareness in a certain place and space on a regular, inconsistent basis. So I'm going to, if we can get to it, I will, I will, we'll do some more of that. Let me say that. We'll do some more of that. We'll do some more of that.
Alexis, you made it.
Yes, thank you so much for helping me out.
Thank you for letting me know. I didn't realize all the little things that I missed. So thank you.
No, you're fine. I appreciate it. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Good to see you. Happy Saturday. Good to see you.
Yes, happy Saturday. I got my partner with me today. Her
Okay.
name is Jamila. Here she go.
Hi.
Hi,
How are
good
you?
morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Wonderful. All right, we're at 7. We getting right into it, right?
Let's do it.
So let me just say this real quick. I always start on time because I want you all to always start on time. I go to so many places that people are teaching people things or doing things, and whatever you're teaching, you're supposed to be an example of. It doesn't mean we're not talking about mistake free, right? But you should be what you want other people to be. And when I go places and they say it's going to start at 7 o'clock and it starts at 7:25, and everybody acts like it's 6:55. See, I don't really like that, right? And so when you're supposed to be somewhere with a client, you're supposed to be on time for a call. You're supposed to be there and be on time and ready to go. Don't be sitting around wait. Well, we're going to wait for everybody to get in the thing. Why? If the people here are on time, why should they wait? Then they're going to wait. The people who are late are not there. The people who are waiting have to wait. So then the people who are waiting are going to not be there next week because everybody's waiting. Right. And so then someone starts at 7, then ends up starting at 7:26 every week, then 7:36, then 8:06. See, I don't really do that. So I just say things, it's kind of a side note, but if you're working with somebody, most of us on here have a business and things like that. If you're supposed to be somewhere, be there. If you're supposed to be ready, be ready. Whatever you're supposed to be, right? Don't be sitting around acting like it's cool that you're 3 minutes late, 5 minutes late, 7 minutes late. It's not cool. And people don't have to tell you it's not cool. They just stop calling you or stop calling you back, or they just stop looking for you. So that's my little mini rant for the morning. Now, happy Saturday. I hope everyone is well. Awesome, wonderful. All right, here we go. So we're going to start off with the story. Vanessa, please pull that up, and we're gonna warm it up a little bit, right? So if you are available to read, please let me know. Otherwise, I will continue to run my big mouth and I will read. But short of the word demand, I'm towing the line of demand. I'm right up on the line of demand. I want everybody to participate in class because otherwise you don't own this information. You're just renting it. You're just hearing it. But when you participate, you start taking ownership of it so that when we're away from class on Tuesday, like I say, my famous day during the week, where by the time it gets to Tuesday, you run out of gas from all your holy warriorship, right? During Saturdays or Sundays, whenever you go to church or wherever you go, by Tuesday, it looks like nobody, it looks like you never went. That is because if you don't participate in your learning, you don't own it, right? It doesn't matter what somebody who knows tells you if you don't know it. And they had to participate to learn it to that extent, and so do you, right? All right. So who wants to read?
I'll read. I run. Uh-oh.
It's okay.
No,
You
go ahead.
And then whoever said that will go next.
Okay.
Go first.
I run a small business, solely owned. And a few years ago, it seemed that my venture would end in failure. For some months, sales had fallen steadily, and I found myself in a financial jam.
Okay, hold on.
Along with
So what is this person doing?
Say it again.
What is this person doing? What does this person have?
A business.
A business. So most of us on here have one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, open your mouth, open your mouth, open your eyes, wipe your mouth, put your hand on your head, pay attention. Right? Pay attention. We're not here to just be messing around. We all have places to be and other things that we could be doing. So we are here to learn how to get off by remembering who you are, right? We're not here to cry. We're not here to whine. We're not here to beg. We're not here to hope, wish. And the reason we read stories like this, because these are people who are thinking the same way we are thinking. And they are telling you what was happening, where it was, how it started. Pay attention to all the details. Pay attention because you'll see yourself in these stories, some part of it, some aspect of it, and you'll see where you might have run your car into the ditch. And even though you may be still putting your foot on the gas and you feel like you're doing something because you're still doing something, all you're doing is spinning your tires in the mud, right? So see where things start, where they transpire, and how they end up, right? So that you can really get a chance to see what's going on in your own world. All right, so please start over again. I just want people to understand, pay attention to everything, to all the words. Pay attention. Okay, please start over. Do it again for me.
I run a small business, solely owned, and a few years ago, it seemed that my venture would end in failure. For some months, sales had fallen steadily, and I found myself in a financial jam, along with thousands of other small businessmen, as this period spanned one of our country's minor recessions.
Good. One more slide. Read one more.
I was badly in debt and needed at least $3,000 almost immediately. My auditors advised me to close my doors and try to salvage what I could. Instead, I turned to my imagination. That sounds like a Pisces.
Right? Attention, right? You see what's going on with this person and what people are advising this person to do. And so at the very end, they decided they had a choice to make. They could either listen to these people or they decided to do something else. They turned to their imagination. Okay, so they're in a situation. People are telling them this is not going to work. They decided to turn to their imagination. Okay, let's see what happens. Next person.
I knew you teach. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. I knew your teaching, but had never actually attempted to solve any problem in this manner.
Okay. Okay, stop. Say that one more time.
I knew your teaching, but had never actually attempted to solve any problem in this manner.
So how many things do we all know but don't actually use it? How many things do we say, oh, I know that, I heard that, yeah, it's just a reminder. Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sure. But you're not doing nothing with it. You're not doing anything about it. You've heard it. You'll tell everybody you heard it. You came here or you go there or you listen to this person or that person. Yeah, you're hearing constantly, but you're not applying what you hear. And it's obvious you're not applying what you hear because I can hear it. I can hear you. I know who is doing it. I don't live with any of you guys. I don't know where all you guys are half the time, but I can tell by the way you ask questions, respond. If you don't ask questions, if you just sit here and act like you're invisible, right? Like I'm watching all of you. I tell you that all the time. I watch all of you, not in judgment or criticism, but in objective observation, so I can see where you are, so I can see how to best remind you of who you are. But you come in here every week and come and go on other places that you're going. If you're not applying what you hear, right? Not only the parts you like, but the parts you don't like, as long as they're both true, right? If you don't do that, if you're a hearer and not a doer, you're deceiving yourself. And most people are deceiving themselves. They go to all kind of places and they're the same people every week. That's why that happens, because they hear it. I knew you're teaching, but never actually attempted to solve any problem with it. Well, what are you listening for then? Why are you here? Right? So next, please move on.
I was frankly skeptical of the entire idea that imagination can create reality, but I was also desperate, and desperation forced me to test your teaching.
Next slide. Same person, next slide.
I imagined my office receiving $4,000 unexpectedly in remittances due. This money would have to come from new orders, as my accounts receivable were practically non-existent. But this seemed far-fetched, as I hadn't received this much in sales during the last 4 months or more. Nevertheless, I kept my imaginal picture of receiving this amount of money steadily before me for 3 days.
Okay, next person.
Early the fourth morning, a customer I had not heard from in months called me on the phone asking me to come and see him personally. I was to bring a quotation previously given him for machinery needed by his factory. The quotation was months old, but I dug it out of my files and lost no time in arriving at his office that day. I wrote out the order, which he signed, but I saw no immediate help for me in the transaction, as the equipment he wanted would take from 4 to 6 months for factory delivery. And of course, my customer did not have to pay for it until it delivered.
Okay. Next person.
With one dime left in my purse, I went through the entrance and the usher tore my ticket in half, saying,
Hold on, that's not right. That's not the right. Yeah, it's the next slide, but that's not the same story. Yes, that's it. Okay.
I thanked him for the order and rose to leave. He stopped me at the door and handed me a check for a little over $4,000, saying, I want to pay for the merchandise now, in advance, for tax purposes, you know. You don't mind? No, I don't mind. I realized what had happened the moment I took that check into my hands. Within 3 days, my imaginal act had done for me what I hadn't been able to do in months of desperate financial shuffling.
You can read the last one too.
I know now that imagination could have brought $40,000 into my business just as easily as 4,000 LNC.
So, you know what? I wasn't even planning on it, but we'll go into that. All right, so everybody take a look at that. This is a book most of you have heard of, the Bible, most of you have read for one reason or another, right? Growing up by force, like most of us, right? Growing up by force, right? And maybe as you get older, you like it, maybe you don't, but we've all done it. But let me kind of translate a little bit. Oh Lord, you are to our Father. So, oh Lord. So, all right. Oh Lord, you are our Father. All right. So, oh Lord, what it is talking about, right? Some words mean several things, and you have to understand what they mean in the context of a story or a sentence, right? So, oh Lord, this is talking about the law, right? And the law is whatever you tell yourself is true, according to your faith be it unto you, right? As a mind thinketh in his heart, so is it. As a man thinketh in his heart. When it says man, it's talking about humanity, right? So as a man thinketh in his heart, what you believe to be true, so are you. So it's talking about the Lord. So law. So the Lord is the law, right? Whatever you tell yourself is true. You are our Father. Whatever you tell yourself is your Father. Whatever you tell yourself is the Father is I am, right? Your consciousness. So whatever you're telling yourself is your consciousness. That is what you are aware of being. So when at the beginning of the story, when everybody said, hey, you should close your doors down and shut it down, what did this person do instead? At the beginning of the story, there are people giving them advice to do this, shut it down. What did the person do instead?
They use their imagination.
Their imagination. When it says, we are the clay means it is talking about the person who's doing it. So the person that was the clay was the person in this story. And you are our potter. Well, you are a potter is imagination. A potter, when it's talking about potter, the definition of potter in here is imagination. Your imagination is the potter. You are the clay. Whatever you are imagining is forming your experience. And we are all the work of thy hand. We are all the work of the potter's hand. You are the work of your imagination, of your consciousness. When you say I am, and then you attach something to that. I am is the potter. And this is the clay. Whatever you attach to I am, that's the clay that it's using to create that. You're saying, form me into this. So when you put I am stupid, or when you put I am broke, or when you put I am whatever else it is, when you put I am rich, the potter is using this as clay, right, to form into I am Alexis. Alexis is the same thing after I am. I am is who you are. Alexis is just what I am is being aware of. I am is who you are. Stupid is what is being aware of. Rich is what is being aware of. Broke is what is being aware of. Alexis, all the names of us, all of our names on this call are no different than stupid, broke, rich, happy, whatever else it is. It's just an expression of awareness. It's what awareness is aware of being, doing, or having. So your awareness is the potter. So, oh Lord, the law, right? Whatever I believe myself to be, right? In imagination, right? Whatever clay you give the potter is what it's going to use to create that scenario, that outcome. That's what it means, right? The Father is I am. That's consciousness. That's not a man. It's not a male. It's not a female. God is not a woman. God is not a man. God is not that a male or a female only relates to physical body. And I am is consciousness, right? The book is using male or female to personify things, like it uses male as thought. So when it's talking about male, it's talking about thought. When it's talking about female, it's talking about the awareness you get when you think of this thought. So if you have a thought of being rich, you're like, ooh, I'm rich. Ooh, so rich is the thought. Ooh is the emotion of the thought. That is the female, the emotion of the thought. But just like to create any expression, you need a male and a female. So you need a thought and you need the emotion of that thought. Emotion does not mean crying, whining, happy, sad, yellow, mean, glad. No, it just means the feeling of it. The feeling of it, not the emotion like people think, no, the feeling of it, the awareness of being that thing. That is the female. The thing, the thought, right, is the male. These are personifications, right? They're just using a thing to say, if I had to say what this would look like, it looks like this. If I had to say what this would look like, it would look like that. They just picked and chose, but that's what it is. They're not actual male or females, right? And they're both, that you need both. So neither one is better than the other, right? That you need both. If you don't have both, you don't have anything. You can't just have a female. It's not going to work. You can't just have a male. It's not going to work. You can't just have a thought without any awareness of the thought. Otherwise, it won't work. You can't have an awareness of a thought if you don't have a thought. That's not going to work. So I'm just slowing this down a little bit so that you can understand what they're saying. So we don't gloss over things so quickly and so much, right? So it's saying, oh Lord, the law. It's saying whatever you tell yourself is true is true. So whatever you're telling yourself, that is your Father. That is what you are aware of being. You're telling yourself, I'm aware of being. And whatever you're aware of being, there is a feeling of that awareness. You have a feeling about what you're thinking. Oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm sad. Well, you couldn't be sad without a thought. You're sad about something, right? You can't be sad without a thought. And you can't have a thought without a feeling about it. When you have a thought and you're aware of that thought, you feel something about it, right? Whatever that is, you need both to have an expression, right? So I want you to understand what this is saying. The potter is talking about your imagination. That's what that word means. That's why in the story it said, I turn to my imagination. Well, where is your imagination? Where is that?
Your
In your
mind.
mind.
Where is it? Where?
Within.
In. Yes, within. In. When he got to that story, when he was in that story, he had an in and an out. What was the out? Go back. Yeah, about 2 more slides closer to the beginning. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There you go. Where's the out?
The out are the auditors and people.
Right. My auditors advised me. That is the out. Right? In this case, auditors. The auditors, other people. Other people aren't always out. But in this story, my auditors advised me. That's the out. Instead, at the end, I turn to imagination. So then when this person turned to imagination, they went where?
Within.
In. So you know how people say it's not what you know, but who you know? Yeah, that is true but untrue. It is true, but it depends on who you're talking about. Who do you know? If you know the auditors, you're going to go out, then what happens to your business?
You shut it down per his advising.
You shut it down. And then if somebody doesn't like you, they'll call your shutdown business a what?
Failure.
Failure. And if you don't know better, what will you do?
Agree.
Agree. But where did you fail?
Within.
No, you didn't. Yes, but no. Yes, but no. Yeah, that's why it happened, but it didn't have to happen if you would have went back within and rearranged what you were thinking.
Right.
You failed because you kept looking at them and you wouldn't go in within where the answers are. Because at the end of the story, they got what they asked for from where? Within or without?
Within, at the end of the story, they got what they asked for. By utilizing that imagination, they got that check.
So who did they ask?
Themselves.
Themselves. Now remember, this is a court of law here. Everything you say can and will be held against you. So on Tuesday, remember that you just said themselves. You didn't say my friends, my auntie. You didn't say my spouse, my partner, my significant other, my kids, my boss, the weather, my credit. You didn't say any of that. Just remember, you didn't say that. So on Tuesday, remember what you said. Because when I work with most of you, whether it's on here or just people in general, by Tuesday, people act like they never heard it before. Everybody on Saturday, everybody talks about in. On Tuesday, everybody talks about out. Out might as well be Tuesday. The new word for out is Tuesday. The new word for in is Saturday. Because by the time I talk to you on Wednesday, it's Tuesday. All you want to do is tell me about them, they, that, those, he, she, it, the weather, tariffs, Trump, Republicans, Democrats, racism, sexism. I'm telling you, boy, you are National Rhodes Scholars. You have so many reasons why you are horrible. You're not paying attention, right? So that's why we're slowing this down, because I want you to understand, right? And that's why we read a story. I try to start off now with stories, because I want you to see how people who think like we're thinking get what they want. And it's not about who you know out there. It's about who you know in here. And who you know in here is you. It is I am. It's you. That is who you need to know, is yourself. But you need to know yourself as you truly are. You are not Alexis. Alexis is the name of a body, like the name of a car. It is a finite thing. All the things after I am, after that, semicolon, all of that is finite. It's temporary. I am is infinite. It is unconditional. It is unlimited. This is conditional. This is limited. This is why you always want to tell me, well, I want this, but that's a condition. I am doesn't have conditions. I would like this, but I don't have enough. That's limited. I am is not limited. So when you talk, I listen to what you say. It's not a judgment or criticism, but it is an objective observation, so I can hear where you are and what's happening, what you're not getting. Because once you fix that, you can fix it. This person's business was failing according to their own thing. They were told to shut it down. They decided, well, I might as well stop playing around out there because it ain't helping. Let me go back in here. And in my imagination, they said, what? I want $4,000. Did they get the money?
Yes.
Did they have to pay anybody for the money?
Did they what?
Did they have to beg anybody for the money?
Oh, no.
Did they have to bribe anybody for the money?
Nope.
No.
Did they have to come up with some kind of special words and practice the words all week?
Nope.
I mean, all the stuff people tell you. You got to have an elevator pitch. You got to have a you got to be good. You got to be. Okay, well, if that's what you have to be, don't be mad when you have to be that. If you want to prostitute yourself out there, you go on ahead and do what everybody else tell you to do. Think you got to do go right on ahead. Or you can just go ahead and go within, and you don't have to give up anything. Because what did they give up to get that?
The poor belief system they had.
Correct. So did they give up anything?
No.
No. So you don't have to give up anything to get what you want. Only humanity does that. Only humanity robs Peter to pay Paul. God doesn't do that because God is Peter and Paul. Can't rob yourself. That's like you just like you going in your pocket in the right side of your jeans, taking $100 out, putting in your left side and be like, yeah, I robbed myself. Got you. That would be very silly. I am doesn't rob itself. I am doesn't give up something to get something. I am takes it all. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. All of it. So you don't have to give up. But what are you giving up to get a success in your business? Your relationships? Your health? What? Anything else you give? Oh, yeah, girl, I made it. Yeah, but Steve Jobs died with $4 billion in his personal checking account. $4 billion. Dead. Anybody want that?
Send me the checkbook.
Well, if you take his check, you're going to take his outcome. Get your own check. Right? That way you can live. Humanity is always sacrificing something. That's where the word sacrifice is coming from. Because you have to give up something to get something. I am doesn't have to do that. Your awareness within you, your awareness within you, you don't have to give up things. Not when you know how to think. And you say, okay, I don't have to give up my business. But I also can't keep going without something. So I'm going to keep my business and get the money. Isn't that what that person did? And I know it's a he because I've read the whole story. That's why I'm saying it. But that's what that person did. They kept the business and got the money. They didn't have to prostitute themselves, meaning put themselves in a compromised position they didn't want to be in. They didn't have to give up something to get something. I think that was Alexis who said it. You don't have to. You didn't have to. All they did was give up their bad idea. All you have to do is give up your bad idea. You have some bad ideas. I'm not mad at you for having them because I've heard them too. I've said half of them and believe probably the other half. So none of this thing that we talk about is judgment and criticism. That's why it says in the book, there is no condemnation to those that are in Christ Jesus. Meaning we're not worried about mistakes. We're not worried about, oh, yesterday. You're worried about yesterday. You keep going over it. You keep, oh God, God won't forgive me. No, you won't forgive you. You won't do it. God won't let it go. You won't let it go. You won't stop. You won't quit. What did it say? Even though your sins are red as scarlet, I can make them white as snow. But you won't let it go. You won't stop the cat. Sombrero Big is just ridiculous, right? So gonna go back over it. All right, now I'm gonna get into the next thing so that we have time for some dialogue, question, answer, whatever else it is. Vanessa, will you pull up that slide, please? The one I sent you. We're gonna break down some terms again. Now, why am I doing this? Breaking down these terms. Because everybody talks about responsibility, but you cannot be responsible, and then you definitely can't be accountable. In order for someone to be responsible, they have to be aware and they have to be informed. They have to be both. They have to be aware. They have to know that they're responsible for something. And then they have to be informed. They have to know how to do whatever it is they're responsible to do, to be, to have. They have to know that it's their responsibility and know how to satisfy that. They have to be informed and aware. Most of us are neither. Most of us are just emotional, ignorant, and follow traditions and customs because it's always been that way. But that doesn't make a person responsible. So then it doesn't make a person, like I've been saying forever, response able. They're not response able. So they cannot be response able. They cannot. If they don't have the ability to respond, they cannot be responsible. If they don't have an account, they don't have a way. They cannot be able. They're not able. They're unable then. They don't have an account, they're unable. So you can't make somebody responsible if they're not response able. If they're unaware or uninformed, they are not able to respond. Therefore, they cannot be responsible. Therefore, you cannot hold them accountable. They don't have an account. They don't have a way or means of paying for this thing. They don't have a way of means to deposit anything into. They don't have it. So you have to make people aware and informed, both. You have to make them both if you want them to be able to respond ably. Hey, I need you to go to the bank and drop this money off, and then you leave. What if they didn't know what bank you went to? And what if they called you and you were in a meeting all day? What are they going to do with the money? Where are they going to go? So they have to be, they are aware, but they're not informed. They don't know where to go. You haven't told them. That is why I rant and rave, but not in emotion, but in information. I'm giving you information, not emotion. Information. But I'm giving it to you passionately. One, because I live it, just like I'm talking to you, I talk to me. And two, because I want you to know that if you become aware of the information you're getting, you will get the same thing that person got. $4,000 and your business. And you won't have to give up one or the other. You won't have to stay up. Did the person stay up all night? Did they rob somebody? Did they have to work 78,000 hours of overtime? No. But when you go within, what does it say? It's my Father's good pleasure to give you the keys to the kingdom, that your joy may be full. You and me and you. You're not here to suffer. I have a book. Where is it? Right here. Right? By Eric Butterworth. Man was not born to cry. Humanity was not born to cry, be whining, and everything else. That's not why you're here. Let other people tell it. They'll tell you to close business, close up shop. It's a bad time. It's a recession. It's never a bad time for your dream. Who's going to tell you that? Did they give you the dream? Hey, I'm going to give you this dream. No, they didn't. The dream came to you. The dream was for you. It wasn't about them. It's for you. So it's always a good time. If it came to your mind, it's always a good time. So you start identifying yourself with your dream and you let your awareness get you your dream, just like the awareness got that person $4,000. You didn't ask anybody else, so why do you got to listen to them? There's wisdom in the multitude of counsel. Yes, it's okay to give people's advice, perspective, and things when you love them or respect them or they have some success in the area. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm telling you. But always remember, there's a difference between who you are talking to and who you are praying to. There's a difference between the two. Don't get those confused. Your mentors are who you're talking to. People you respect and love and who have success. That's who you're talking to. Don't ever get it confused about who you're praying to. Who you're praying to is you. That is your imagination. That is your awareness of being. I am. I am what? What do I want to put on after that? I am what? I'm awareness. Okay, what do I want to be aware of being? I want to be aware of having $4,000 because I need it. That is who you're praying to. That is who these other people are just who you're talking to. Don't confuse the two. They'll get you messed up. They'll have you closing down your business when you could have just went within and kept it open. And you didn't have to lose, sacrifice, stay up all night, hurt anybody, rob anybody. You didn't have to abandon your family, abandon your health. You didn't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's never going to make you suffer because guess who's suffering with you? I am. It's suffering with you. Well, so what good is that? It's not into suffering. Only humanity's into that. Right? Okay. So just want to kind of throw that out. I'll leave that up. Right? But that is why I'm going over this, because I want you to be responsible so that you can be responsible, so that you can be accountable, so that you can be accountable. Then you won't need other people to hold you accountable. What do you mean? You don't need anybody to hold you do nothing. You are accountable. You need somebody to help you spend your money? You guys need somebody to hold your hand when you're at the mall so you can spend your money? Anybody do that? Mm-mm. Oh, so you only need accountability partners for something you're too weak to do yourself. So you guys are getting me upset. You haven't said nothing. I'm already mad. Already is off the rock. Right? No, you don't. Right? When you are informed and aware, when you know who you are, you're walking on water. You're turning water into wine. It is what you say it is. But that's why we go over these terms, because what we think words mean makes us believe what our options are. It dictates what we think our options are. And if we have an incorrect understanding of what words mean, we have an incorrect assessment or awareness of what our options are. And then we don't use all the ones available to us. We only use the ones we know and the ones we understand. No. We're using them all because they're all yours. It's victory only, victory always on this side. That's what it is. Period. There is no, we're not taking those. We're not taking losses. We're not failing fast, failing up, failing down. That's not what we do. If you want to hear that, go somewhere else. We're not here. We don't do that here. Right? We might make mistakes. We learn, cool. But no, we're not like, oh, well, no. When we make a mistake, we go back and say, where did I miss it in my mind? Oh, okay, I thought that was true when it really wasn't. I was believing something that was, okay, cool. I can see where that happened. And you make an adjustment and you move on. Right? But we're not looking forward to failing. Like, let me just hurry up and get this over with. Why? For what? When I don't have to do it at all. Any kid go to the playground, let me just go ahead and bust my mouth off this jungle gym, and then I can start playing for real. Anybody want to do that? Anybody advise their kids to do that? Hey, look, hurry up, get to school. Let's just go on and fail these first couple tests, and then you'll be ready to roll. Anybody tell them to do that? I mean, if you just place that thing in a different context, you would see how stupid it is. It's insane. You're not here to cry. You're not here to fail. You're not here to lose. Those are things that people who don't know better say and soothe themselves with. Well, nobody's perfect. Well, what does the book say? Be you perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Perfect. What does that mean? We talk about it all the time. Perfect. Compound word. Perfect. Per meaning completely. Fect meaning to do or make whole. You are completely made whole. When you do or make something, it's whole. It's complete. You are completely whole. You were made that way. You were made to be complete. You were made perfectly, to do things perfectly. You are made that way. But that is your awareness. Your awareness is what it's talking about. It's not talking about your physical humanity. But in your humanity, when you remember who you are, that you are I am, then you're like, well, shoot, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to allow myself to express that attribute of who I naturally am. You can't buy perfection. You can't buy wisdom. You can't buy intelligence. You can't buy those things. They are not to be bought. They are to be assumed. That's why Shakespeare said, assume a virtue if you have it not. Assume the virtue. Start telling yourself you are perfect. That means you are whole and complete, flawless, lacking nothing. Start telling yourself you are that. It's not something to buy. It's not something to do. It is something to be, become aware of in your mind. Tell yourself you are that thing. Tell yourself you are brilliant. Tell yourself that you are anything you want to physically express or experience. Tell yourself, but that starts as I am. That starts here. I am is the creative aspect. Everything else after that is what it's expressing. Right? Let me go. Let me do it. Let me do it another way. Because I want you to get it. Okay. Everybody see this big? It's supposed to be like a cloud. It's kind of terrible. I blame somebody. I don't know who, but I'll blame one of you at some point. But this is supposed to be a cloud. All right. What is what is this? What is this? This thing that I just drew. What is this? I know you don't know, but I want you to think.
It's whether it's a cloud or a squiggly circle.
Okay. Yeah, but what does it represent?
There's
A thought, like a bubble, a thought.
Okay. So what does that represent?
I'm gonna say this because you've been saying it. I am.
I am. Now watch this. What is that?
person.
So where did this person come from?
The imagination of I am.
So
Or the
this person's a physical reflection of what?
I am.
I. So every one of you are on there are what? Every one of you on there are what?
I am.
You yeah, but on this call, yes, you are. And in your physical body, you are what?
An expression of I am.
An expression of I am. You're not an expression of your parents. You're an expression of I am. You didn't come from your parents. You came through your parents. You didn't come from your parents. You came through your parents because your parents are not the creator. Your parents are not the genesis. They're not the beginning. So you didn't come from them. You came through them. When you were this, I am, you said, what do I need? What do I want to be here? All right. So I need a body. Okay. So I'm going to have a body. So I've already put bodies down here. So then, okay, this is what I want my body to look like. So, I'm going to pick this person. And then I'm going to go here. And this person's going to go here. And then I'm going to come out the other side. Now I'm here. You are not from them. You are through them. This is who you are. What did the book say? What did the book say? It says, before I knew you and called you by name. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you and called you by name. Anybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you and called you by name. I formed you. I am did that. It's like you go to get a rental car, right? You're going to get something you already know exists, and you're going to use this to do something. So you didn't come from your parents, you came through your parents. So I am made this, made Alexis, made the other Alexis, made all of our Gavin, made all of the people on here, Karen, all of you on here. I am. You are the physical reflection of your consciousness. You were conscious before you were physical. So now, when we talk about free will, so now you're here as this. You're the physical expression of consciousness. But what is free will? So as this person, what is the free will you have?
Choose.
Yes.
My actions.
Your actions? Yeah, but your actions are governed by what?
Thoughts.
Thought. Our action is physical, right? Well, what made this physical thing? Thought. So your free will in physical form is what you think. Everything you think goes back into I am, and I am pushes it back out. Because I am has everything. I am does everything. Does that make sense? I am does everything. What does it say? I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. I am the Lord and I do all these things. None of you can be saved from my hand. I am does everything in potential. Now, it's aware enough to only choose certain things. Its nature is to live. It says, I'm a God of the living, not the dead. Your nature is to live, to be prosper and multiply. That's your nature. But you have other options, right? You can do a whole lot of other things. Generally, you should go to school to learn, but you see people that do doing all kind of stuff, right? Fighting, sleeping, ditching, all kind of other stuff, right? You have choices. But what is your true nature in your right mind, right? You make good choices. That's your true nature. God is a God of love. That's your true nature. God is omniscient, all-knowing, omnipotent, all-powerful, omnipresent, everywhere. That's your nature. I am is everywhere. So your free will is to say, okay, I have the ability to think. You have this ability. You have this ability different than any other living thing on the planet. Watch this. Think about this. You were made physical, right? You were made this physical thing. There's all kind of animals, birds, trees, hell, the sun, light, the moon, all that other stuff. What is the difference between all of these things and you and this physical body and all of us on this call? What is the difference between us and that?
The ability to be and choose.
I am.
Okay, say it again.
I am.
Okay, yeah, but I am made all these too and made this body. What's the difference between you and that? You and
We can make decisions. We
The
can
Choice.
the creator lives within me, but the creator does not live within those things that it created. I don't know.
Can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
no problem. I am made this physical body we talked about, right?
Yes.
I am made all these other physical things, the sun, the moon, the stars, right? Birds, trees, everything else. But the physical body that we brand, Alexis, Gavin, Karen, Mona, Sparkle Bailey, all of us on here. There's a difference between all of us over here and all these other physical things that were made. What is the difference?
We're in a
The ability to choose.
Okay. Yes. Why is that?
The free will.
Okay.
Because we were created in his image of likeness.
In the image, and how do you know that's true? What did I am do to prove that to be true? What did I am do for this that it didn't do for that?
put us in a body.
Well, it put a bird in a body. Right? That's good. That's what we're talking about. I want you to know. Yes, it's good. What is the difference between Alexis and a bird?
A bird's not in his image.
Okay, but how do you know you're in the image? It's good to hear it. How do you know? What did I am do for this body, for humanity, that it didn't do for this? Watch this. When you're sitting there, you're breathing in and out, right? What did I am do for you that it didn't do for a bird?
The breath of life.
The breath of life. It breathed the breath of life into you. So whose breath do you think you're breathing?
I am.
Why do you think you say, I am? But when you say I am, on Sunday, you're talking about God. When you say I am on Tuesday, you're talking about you. And you think these are two fundamentally different things. How can God and you be different, but you keep saying I am for both? The breath of life has been breathed into you. It wasn't breathed into a bird. It wasn't breathed into the sun. So guess what? All you're doing, you're made in the image and likeness because you are I am. That's why you keep saying it. But when you came into a human form, you wiped your mind so that you could believe you were human. That's what makes the experience real to you. But you put I am in as a placeholder so that as you awaken, you would remember who you are. That's why you keep saying it. You just don't realize, you don't recognize its significance. Right? Like when you're teaching your kids how to read and they don't feel like doing it sometimes, or math, because they don't recognize its significance in that moment. But as they get older, they're like, oh, thank God. Oh, I'm glad I know how to read. When you see somebody who doesn't, or you think, oh man, I'm glad my parents told me this. When you see somebody who doesn't know that thing. I remember going, when I first started playing college basketball, it was very apparent quickly who had ever been cursed out before and who hadn't. Who had ever been called out their name, thrown out of practice, told them to get their butt on a plane, but they can get out. It was very apparent who had ever been told off, told out, who had ever been disciplined in any type of way. You could tell the people who had and the people who hadn't. And at that moment, everybody who had looked at each other like, you talking to me? You could almost see like we've been through that before. You could tell immediately the people who hadn't. They were melting down. They were like, "Oh my God, is this real? What do they mean?" Jeez, they were just panicked. They had never been told they weren't good enough, or that wasn't good enough, or you better do something else, or you're never gonna play, and you're gonna get home. We're gonna send you home. They had never been told it wasn't right. You better do something. I don't care if you hurt. I don't care if you're sick. Get to whatever it was. You could tell. So you are made in the image and likeness. You have had the breath of life. You're the only one that has had this breath. That breath is literally what makes you different than everything else. That is your stamp of approval of being the image and likeness. That's what makes you different. You are literally the breath. You are literally the essence of I am, of this. This is who you are. You just decided as you are to have a physical expression. So now you gave yourself free will in humanity to say, okay, I made an image of life, which means I can think too. Just like this does. I can think too. And whatever I think, that thought goes back into your awareness, and you say, oh, okay, I think, God, I slipped and fell. Oh, I'm so clumsy. That was a thought. Goes back into I am, and I am says, I am clumsy. Oh, God, it's hard out here. Man, I'm broke. Okay, I am broke. And whatever I am says goes. So then you just have experiences that prove you to be right. Let there be light. It was good and very good. Everything is perfect. It's a perfect reflection of your consciousness. You're just not always conscious. You're not always aware of what you're thinking, of what you're assuming and accepting and allowing to be true. But that's all we do is assume. All right, let's get somebody here right now. Watch who hasn't, to prove that it's true, that how much we assume things. All right, let's see here. Who do I want to call? Veronica, pick somebody. But pick somebody who's not here, who hasn't been here recently. Prove it.
Well, I'm not sure if they're able to speak. So
I'm just trying
anyone,
I fly off the handle, pick anybody.
does anyone want to volunteer?
I'll go.
Okay. Who said it? I heard it, but I don't know who said it.
Alexis.
Alexa. Okay. So, and what time is it where you are?
9:51 a.m.
Okay. At 11 a.m., what are you going to be doing?
Wrapping up this call with you and getting to work.
Wonderful. Okay. Now all I need you to do is prove that.
Prove it right now?
Yes, that's when you said it, right? Didn't you just say it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Prove it.
In my calendar?
Can you take that to court?
No,
So then it doesn't count. So prove it.
I can't.
You can't. We got to start being honest about some things. You can't. So then why did you say it?
Because it's true.
Based on what?
My plan.
But you can't prove it. You can't get a court verdict with that. So then what are you actually saying? You said it's true. What does truth mean to you then if you can't prove it? What are you using to say that's true?
My thoughts.
Your thought, what about it? Because it's not just your thought. I'm pressing you and you're still defending it. So then why are you defending it?
I don't know.
Because you believe it. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
believe it because you can prove it. You believe it because you're assuming it. But you're assuming it to the point that there's nothing really in you that says it's not true.
Mm.
It's not that you can prove it. It's just that you believe it to be true to the point that it excludes any other option. You've cut off another option. You're saying, this is what I'm going to do. You can't prove it, but it's not the ability to prove. It's the absence of doubt. It's the absence of fear. It's the absence of you having any other thought that this is going to go different. Well, then why can't you do the same for your business? Why can't you do the same for your health? You can't prove anything you say when you say it. Generally, if you were a billionaire and I said in 5 minutes, are you going to be a billionaire? You could be like, yeah, because you believe, well, if it's only 5 minutes, I can't lose all my money, but you can't prove that. But you're just more likely to believe certain things. And the more likely you are to believe it, you start calling it proof. But it's not actually, it's an assumption. And so then it lets us know then we're just assuming everything. So then the question becomes, why don't you assume for your good then? If you can't prove anything before you do it, then why can't you be a millionaire next week? It's not because you can prove one over the other, because you believe one or the other. And you believe it so much you called it what? What did you say it was?
A fact.
True.
True. True. And true to you is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But what did I say? What did I say, class, about 3 weeks ago? I said your faith is a what? Is your what?
Facts.
Fact. It's you can't prove it, but your faith is a fact to you. What you believe is true to you. So what do I say? What you tell yourself is true is true. It's not because you believe it, but you believe it because you're telling yourself. And I'm telling you that the only difference between what you get and what you don't get is what you believe, not the availability, not the possibility. But you just won't believe it like that. You are literally fighting me to say that this is going to happen at 11 o'clock, as you should. But I'm asking you then, you and everybody, why don't you fight me when you're supposed to be something else then? Why do you fight to keep what you don't want?
Mm-hmm.
You'll fight me to keep what you do want. Instead, you will get on the phone crying, whining, oh, coach, I wish I had $1 million. Well, you can never die. I can't have that. I never had that much. You will fight to stay as you are. You have no proof it has to stay that way, but you believe it. It's the truth to you. So then you get what you believe, and then you say it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, I knew I wasn't going to get it. You're right. You knew. You had already thought. The body comes from the thought. The body doesn't make the thought makes the body. Your physical world doesn't make you, you make your physical world. Whatever you're willing to tell yourself is true is true. This is not positive thinking, meaning like it's some kind of magic that kind of works, maybe does work, so to so kind of. No, it's the art of creation. I am is the creator. I am is the creator. Whatever you put after it is the creation. Stress is a creation. It is something that I am created so that when you decided you wanted to have that, it was available to you. It's not something you have to pick. It's not inevitable, but it's what you pick when you're either unaware or uninformed. When you don't know better, you picked the wrong thing. You made a mistake. You didn't fail. You made a mistake in your thinking. You sinned. It means it was an error in thought. That's what sin means. It does not mean judgment. It means error in thought. You missed the mark. If you are not what you want to be, you are sinning. You're missing the mark. You're missing your target. You're not being what you want. And being what you want doesn't mean physically expressing it. It means if you sit right here today after this call, you say, you know what? I want to have a business that makes $1,000 a day. If you do not immediately start telling yourself, okay, I want a bill, you tell yourself, I want a business that makes $1,000 a day. You're telling yourself what you want to be. You're aware. I want to have $1,000 a day business. Immediately, if you know who you are, you start to tell yourself, I am that now. I now identify myself with my desire. I now am the thing I want. So I no longer want it like it's over there and I'm over here. Now we're one. The two become one flesh. Me and what I want are now one thing. I have a business that makes $1,000 a day. Period. Period. I know you can't read it, but period. I wrote it again. Period. And that is all generated from within. Guess where it's satisfied from? Within. Guess who guarantees it? Within. As you're aware, I am that. I have that. That's me. Period. And every day I wake up, I do it. What is an affirmation? An affirmation is you saying the same thing about something. Whether you just want to say it over and over, I have $1,000 a day business. Man, I have $1,000 a day business. Man, I'm so glad I have $1,000 a day business. Man, I am cracking. My business makes $1,000 or more a day, right? You may walk around saying that all day. You may not have said it for 2 days. And then when you're at your other job, and you're like, and the thought of, man, how you gonna have that business? I got $1,000 a day business. What you mean? I made $1,000 yesterday. I made $1,000 today. You tell yourself the thought is going to dictate the physical form. It's the creator of the form. No form comes without that thought. Vanessa, will you please pull up that thing? A man receives nothing. It's called, go on to Google. It says, a man receives nothing unless it's given to him by his Father in heaven. Put a man receives nothing and it'll come up. All right, watch this. I just said the thought is what creates the physical form. All right, Alexis, read that. Read that. It's the same one. You can read any one of them. It's the same thing, just over and over.
Okay, John answered and said, a man can receive nothing unless it be given from heaven.
Where is heaven?
Within?
So everything you get comes from where?
Within.
Yeah. So you didn't get hit over the head by a stranger. You used a stranger to hit yourself over the head. By the way you think about yourself, you use a stranger to do it. When you think you're hungry, don't you use a fork?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, do you blame the fork? What?
No.
No, because you're using it as an expression of your hunger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then when the stranger hits you over the head, it is an expression of you. You are thinking about yourself in a way that your awareness says, this will do it. This will mirror your thought. What you're believing to be true about yourself. I can be hurt. I can be hurt. I can be blamed. I can be judged. I can be criticized. I can be not liked. I can be, whatever I can be. I am. And then you use the physical world to show you that's true. All physical things come from thought. All of them. There are no exemptions. There are no exceptions. A man can receive nothing. Do you see the word in there? Go back, Vanessa, pull it up again. A man can receive nothing. What is when I talk to you in this class, a man is a what?
Me.
Nope. A man is a what?
Oh,
Thought.
thought.
A person.
A man is a what?
Creation.
An expression.
A mind.
Ah.
When you're looking at what you call a person, you're looking at a mind. You're looking at a mind, a collection of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. A mind can receive nothing. This mind that was made up didn't receive anything but from I am. I am created it. Where do you think it's getting all its thoughts from? If you got a brand new car, and it ran out of gas, who's supposed to put gas in it?
Me.
Does the car do it?
No.
When you got a brand new car and there was a half a tank of gas, did the car put that half a tank of gas in itself?
No.
So then any bit of gas in that car comes from a living thing, from someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that body that was made by I am. Where do you think it got all its thoughts from? Its ability to think from.
I am.
I am. a mind can receive nothing unless it be given him from heaven. You do not have any physical experience that's not coming from heaven, from within you as a result of your awareness of being. When you are I am, right? You make all physical things. All physical things come from within you and they're pushed out. They're not outside. There is really no outside. Everything you call outside is a physical expression of your inside. That's why everyone doesn't see the world. Everyone sees the world differently. Because the world is not what we think it is, it's what you think it is. Everything comes from the inside. Everything comes from this cloud, right? But this cloud is within you. It's within you. You, what you think you call Alexis or Gavin or whoever else, Veronica, whoever else. This cloud is within you. I am is within you. And whatever is going on in here is being pushed out here, called what humanity calls reality. But this is not reality. This is a copy of it. This is reality. I am is reality. How could this be reality? And this is the creator of it. This is an expression of it. This is the child. This is the parent. This is reality. What you are calling reality in physical form is nothing but the expression of you being pushed out. Whatever you're telling yourself in here coming into physical form. This is the mirror. This is the outfit that you put on. This is only reflecting. This is not creating. This is not creating. This is created. This is creating. This is creative. This is created. Nothing is being made out here. So now, once you go here, this is almost like this is you in Vegas. This is Alexis in Vegas. This over here is the buffet. That's you. So now everything, all the food that's over here, who picks that food?
Me.
You. So now Alexis and this food are what?
One.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, you pick that food. Now, when you go over here, you're going to sit down and do what?
Eat it.
Eat. You're going to experience what? What you picked. So, creation is finished. All this food is finished, right? But you are now creating as Alexis. How are you creating? You now take this plate, you take your plate, and you create by selecting from all that exists. You're not making the food, you're selecting the food that exists, but you're creating this experience by the plate that you take, the plate that you pick. So you're creating your physical experience by these thoughts. Okay, I'm rich, but I'm a little depressed. I'm I have good friendships, but my relationship sucks. Okay, my mom doesn't like me. My dad, we're cool. So then you're gonna take all those things. This is your plate, and and believe me, you're gonna eat it. This is one of these things. This is not like elementary school where you like, hey, I got this. You want to trade your fruit roll up, my apple juice box? Yeah, this ain't that. Huh. This ain't that in my best English. It ain't that. It is you're going to sit down and you're going to eat it, and you're going to eat it real good. That's what it is. This is what people are happy about, and this is what people are crying about, complaining about. These are the people who leave smiling, and there's other people who have indigestion. But all of these things are just experiences from your plate that you picked.
Created.
Created by selection. Creation is finished. Yes, created by selection. What thoughts are you selecting? That's the food. That thought, you can't pick an apple and be like, man, I sure wish I had some salad. Well, there's salad over there. Yeah, I didn't pick it, but God knows that I just really, what? See how stupid that sounded? And when you put it in a different context, you're blaming stuff that doesn't even make any sense. Pick the salad. Stop trying to make it an apple. Pick the apple. Stop trying to make it a salad, right? You get to pick. Pick the thought that you're going to sit down and eat. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. I always know what to do. All the world means me well and treats me kindly. I have the victory in all things. Everything I set my hand to prospers. My business makes $1,000 a day. Whether I wake up, get up, sit up, spit up, throw up, it doesn't matter. If I'm up, if I'm alive, I'm caking. Period. That is an internal, that is a within truth. Then people will say, well, how do you prove it? Well, Alexa's willing to fight me over something she couldn't prove. It goes to show you we operate on assumption. That's what it is. We just don't believe that we have the ability to pick what we assume. And you do. This thing, what do you mean? You're going to tell this I am that it can't make a body? Or that it can't pick whatever it wants? Who's going to say no? There is no other. Right? All right. Last thing, and then we'll go on to some. All right. Vanessa, will you please pull that thing back up for me that you had? That I wanted us to read from, because I want to break down these terms again. Please. All right. Let me show you something. All right. So it says, then Moses said to God. All right. Moses. What does that name mean?
Savior.
Say it again.
Savior.
Savior. Okay. Who else? What does Moses mean?
Disciple.
That's okay. But see what I mean? When we don't know what these stories mean, we don't even see our options. We all been, most of us raised in the book, we don't even know how to read. Right? We don't even know, which is good. I'm glad you said this is good, because I'm trying to impress a point. When we define things and we don't know what they mean, we are based on our definition. That's what dictates our beliefs, our options, what we think is true. And if we don't know the truth, how can we live in it? And if we don't know the truth, we don't have it. If we don't have it, we're not free. Only the truth gets you freedom, nothing else. Moses means to draw out. Where was Moses taken from? When he was a baby, where was he taken from?
Egypt.
Yeah, no, where? Where was he found? And who found him?
In the river.
In a river.
Basket.
He was found in a river by Pharaoh's daughter when she was out there bathing. He was taken out. It means to draw out. Moses said to God. Who is that?
I am that I am.
I am. Now watch this. Moses said to God, if I come to the people of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers, what is this telling you in this moment? Then Moses said to God, God's name is I am. So then he says, I come to the people of Israel. If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, what is this telling you right now, just in that little brief stint, Why is Moses asking this question?
Because he didn't know who he was.
Because he didn't know who he was. He didn't even know who he was talking to. God's name is I am. He didn't even know who he was talking to. You don't even realize you're talking to yourself. When you're complaining, who do you think you're talking to? When you're crying and whining, who do you think you're talking to? You think you're talking to your friend on the other end of the phone. But what did I say at the beginning? Who do you think? Oh, Latoya, I was talking to Latoya about this. If you go to a faucet and turn the water on, what gets wet first? If you go to a faucet and turn the water on, what's the first thing that gets wet?
Faucet.
The sink or the tub.
The faucet? What do you mean by the faucet?
Because it goes through the faucet.
Correct. The pipe, the faucet. So when you're complaining to somebody, who are you talking to first?
Yourself.
Yourself. You don't realize that you're complaining to yourself, but you don't realize with that complaint, you are creating something that you're creating a scenario where you're going to have to keep complaining. Because when you're complaining, right, over and over, we all have a minute, we all have a moment. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, when you've gone too far. When you're just complaining now. It's not a moment, it's not a minute. You keep resurrecting it every day. You keep resurrecting it every time this situation comes up. You keep complaining. So you are creating through selecting complaining, and then complaining is going to give you something to complain about. Just like they say, stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes. Stop complaining, or I'm going to give you something to complain about. So then your tire blows out. You're about to go on a date and something happened. They canceled. You thought you were going to get this job, but they decided that the economy's not good. They're going to have to hold off for 6 months. That'll get you a complaint, won't it? You complain, but you don't realize you open yourself up to whatever complaining to you could be. Any physical thing that will get you to complain will happen, because that's who you're being. So number one, Moses didn't even realize it was talking to itself. You don't even realize you're talking to yourself. That the person you think is something else somewhere else is you. You're talking to your awareness of being. You're going within. So then Moses said to God, if I come to the people of Israel, what does Israel mean?
Slavery?
Say it again.
Slavery?
Slavery. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So it means several things, but not one, right? It's a tripartite word. Is short for Isis, mother. 2, Ra is short for Amen Ra, father. 3, El, like any language you speak, El, La, right? The. Israel, tripart, it means the mother, father, God. Basically, the mother, father. It's the is God, but it is a mother and a father that expresses what God is thinking. It is a thought and emotion aspect of your true nature, right? It's the mother, father. Then the mother, father is God. It's thought and the awareness of thought is what consciousness is. That's what. So now Israel. Also, it means person, right? Character, human, who knows who it is, who knows its true identity. That's why they're calling children of Israel. They weren't in Israel. They'd never been to Israel. The Israel that most people know today wasn't even made until the 40s. There's an Israel in America that's older than the one here. That's history. People don't know that. But so it's not talking about a place that we would think is on a map today. It's using them it's using Israel as a personification of a person who knows that it is who it is, that it is the expression of I am. It's when you know who you really are. My mom used to always say, hey, remember who you are. If I were to do that, I'd be Israel. I would know who I was by truth, my true nature. So if I come to my awareness of self, will it know who I am? Will I know who it is? If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? I am said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, say this to the people of Israel. Well, you have to say this to your true nature. I am who I am. That's who I am. I am. I am. There's no Alexis in there. There's no Johnny in there. There's no Leroy in there. I am. That's who you are. Alexis is who you're being, is the role you're playing. That's why Alexis is called a person. A person is a persona. A persona means character or mask. And the only people who wear those are the people who are playing a role. And so you're playing the role of Alexis, or the role of the other Alexis, or the role of Christina, or the role of Sparkle Bailey, or that's a role you're playing in humanity. That's a role that I am is playing. Right? So it's saying, I am who I am. And he said, say this to the people of Israel. You have to say this to yourself. You have to remember who you are. I am is who I am. I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, say this to the people of Israel. The Lord, the God of your fathers. The Lord is God. Right? The law, right? What you tell yourself is true is your awareness. Your awareness is the law. Whatever you're telling yourself to be true is true. And when you're talking to Moses as God, when you're Moses talking to God, when you're Alexis talking to yourself and you don't know that you're I am, you're literally saying, well, who am I? And so I am is saying, I am who I am. This is who I am. And tell yourself this is who you are. This is who you are. I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, I am the God of all of you. I am the God of your entirety, of your entire being. That's me. Of you being a mother, a father, a brother, a son. I am over all of that. And I has sent me to you. This is my name forever. And thus I am to be remembered throughout all the generations. That is my name. I am. So God's name is not God. God is a title. And really, it's a verb. Most people only use it as a noun, as like a name, but it's a verb. It's an action. It's an awareness. It's a living consciousness. It's living. It's alive right here, right now. That's why it's I am. It's always present. It's not I was, I will be, tomorrow, next time, when I get a raise. No, I'm rich now. No, I have my raise right now. I make $1,000 a day in my business right now. I am perfectly healthy right now. I am is right now. Didn't say I was the God of your fathers. I was the God. No, I am. Present tense, first person. Why do you keep thinking why do you keep saying it? That you keep saying I am. I am this. I am that. I'm not this. But you're always prefacing it with I am because that's who you are. You just don't realize it when you're asleep. But that's why you're here, because you're awakening. You're waking up. And just as much as I made you to listen, you made me to hear in this moment. I'm a reflection of you, and you're a reflection of me. My desire to talk and your desire to get information. And when that desire is past, you move on. Everyone is a reflection of you in your world. Everything physical is a reflection of you in your world. You just don't know it, so a lot of times it doesn't make sense to you. But you don't have to change anyone or anything but yourself. You go within. That's how you get your $4,000. $4,000 could be health, could be $4,000, could be a car, could be a raise, could be a relationship, could be a house, could be anything. You by going within. And what did he say? I kept what I said for 3 days. It may take you, it doesn't take time for things to happen. It takes you. As long as it takes you to identify yourself with your desired end, that's how long it's going to take. There's no such thing as time, because time is not dictating how long it's going to take for you to believe it. You're not waiting on time. Time is waiting on you. So time has nothing to do with it. When you say I have $4,000 for my business because I need that, okay, cool. There it is. They got it, didn't they? They went within, didn't they? They asked themselves, didn't they? They didn't ask anybody else's opinion. They didn't ask what everybody else thought. That's what gets most of you in trouble, is you have a desire within and you start taking it outside and people beat it up like a pinata, and then you wonder why you have nothing left. By the time they're done with your desire, you don't have nothing left. You be like, man, you can take it. You can't even sell this. You can't even get a Carfax. You got to sell this as is, and nobody wanted it. Right? So it's saying to you, the law is your awareness. Now, Moses' job was to draw them out from Pharaoh, right? What is Pharaoh? What does Pharaoh mean? All of these people, if you don't know, are you. Every one of these are aspects of yourself. That's what these stories are. They're showing you all of your internal workings, what you're thinking, how you think. It's showing you how this works. All of these people are you, every one of them, right? So what does Pharaoh mean?
Pharaoh captor. He held the people in captivity.
Yes, but what is any Pharaoh? Pharaohs who didn't do that.
Hmm.
So what does
Don't know.
Pharaoh mean?
A
Ruler?
leader, a ruler.
Pharaoh is, if you looked at, do you guys know Ramses II, when they did DNA testing and everything like that? Do you know that he had, large amounts of cannabis in his system?
Nope.
Now, but why did he have that? Why was that? Now, it could be for a lot of reasons, but I'm going to tell you one of them for sure. Why do you think that was?
He was a West Coast Pharaoh.
Why do we think that was? The reason that was is because pharaohs were also seen as gods among men. They were not seen just as normal humanity. But in order for you to be seen that way, you had to prove that you were that. So when pharaohs went out to, when they had wars, the pharaohs went. And he was out there fighting as well. And when you get cut and stabbed and robbed, if you come back bleeding and die, you can't be God. To them, they're like, something wrong. This is not working. So he was taking cannabis as a form of pain relief. When you get stabbed and obviously not shot, but stabbed and all the other stuff, and you have pain, and you still got to come out the next day and be the king. Yeah, you're gonna be taking something because you cannot be seen as hurt. God can't be hurt. You have to understand the responsibility of these people back in the day. So Pharaoh, yes, was the king. Yes, it was the ruler. But really it is the aspect of your mind, it is the aspect of your human mind that thinks it's God. That's why you think you have to listen to it. You have a desire to have $1,000 a day business. And guess what comes? The Pharaoh. Oh, what do you mean $1,000 a day? Have you seen the economy? Have you seen it? You know you're black, right? You know they don't really have women in that industry, right? Hey, you know there's tariffs out here, right? You do know there's COVID and nobody's buying anything right now, right? Hey, you do know that you can't sell a house right now, right? You do know that nobody's going to buy it if you're asking price, right? You do know that's Pharaoh. It is that part of your being that bows down to the human mind that acts as God. And it keeps you in bondage. It keeps you as the thing you don't want to be. It stops you from being free. All of these are personifications. They're not real things. They're personifications. They're there to show you how the mind works. That's what this story is, how consciousness works. That's what these stories are for. And so it's designed. So then what do you have to do to that human mind? You have to go to the Pharaoh. You have to go to your human mind and say, I am is here now. Thanks for the help, but I'm good. This is what's about to happen now. I have $4,000 for my business. Your human mind will be like, yeah, I don't really care. I have $4,000 for my business now. God is here now. I am is here now. I don't need your little, yeah, no. I'm good. Appreciate it though, bro. Got it. Wonderful. Thank you. Just going out that way. Yeah, there's a juice box outside waiting. Just going up. But yeah, I'm back. The throne is back. I'm back on the throne to reclaim my fame. Back. Awareness has to come to your mind. Your I amness, your awareness of being, that is the creator of all things, has to come to that human mind and be like, man, hold on. You're not the God of this thing. There's only one of those. There's only one of those. And that's me. In case you didn't know. Maybe I didn't make this clear. But yeah, so you tell your human mind that says you can't do it, you can't have it. How's that going to work? You know, people don't work that way. People don't like you. You know, the coach may say, oh, you know, your husband may say, you know, your wife, they're not going to let you do that. They're not going to. Well, you didn't ask them anyway. You're keeping it within. You're telling yourself you are something, and you let your awareness work out all the details. That's what it's for. Why do you think God was going to Moses? I need some help. I don't know how to deal with all these people. Yeah. Well, just tell them I am is here. That's what you tell your human mind. I am is here. And I am this now. And your human mind, the Pharaoh always got something to say. That ain't going to ever stop. But the Pharaoh can't stop you. The children of Israel did make it to the promised land, didn't they? The Pharaoh never agreed. The Pharaoh don't have no choice, except the choice you give it. Your human mind is the Pharaoh. It's the one that's thinking it's in charge. Because look what I say. Look at your bank account. Look at your health. Oh, she won't even call you back. Oh, girl, you lost him. Oh, look, your health will never be good. Oh, girl, you don't have no money. You know it's not good. Oh, they're never gonna pay you. You know they don't like you. You know your coach don't like you, right? That's the Pharaoh trying to keep you in bondage, trying to keep you as you are. What people call your ego mind. But your ego mind is not there for your safety. It's there to keep you the same. It wants you to stay in Egypt. Because it's the ruler of Egypt. It's not the ruler of Greece. It's the ruler of Egypt. So it's not trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you there. It's trying to keep you in Egypt. It's trying to keep you as you are where you are. So it can be the Pharaoh over you, and there's nobody to be the Pharaoh over if there's nobody there. It doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to lose its title. You're the version of yourself that you no longer want to be. I'm the version that's barely making it in my business. I'm now the version I choose to be. I desire to be free from Egypt. What does Egypt mean?
Okay, I know this one now. It's a place of bondage.
Basically, yes, it means house of bondage. Metaphysics. That's what these words mean. That's what the story means. It's basically saying to you that you are something right now. You're always a child of Israel. You are Israel, but you don't know it. And your awareness is always trying to talk to you as Israel, but you don't hear it because you think you're Moses. And Moses doesn't know who it's talking to. These are all you. And your awareness is Moses saying, well, how do you know this? You're that part of you that wants to be free is saying, well, how do I know this is going to work? Because I am said it. Say, I am said it. I am said I'm free. I am said, let this go. I am said I'm rich. I am said this is what it is. I don't need Pharaoh. What is Pharaoh going to tell me? I made him too. I made this destruction that you're going through, this poverty you're going through. I made that too, because that's what you told me to make. That's what you identified yourself with. You said it's hard out here on a pimp. That's what you said. So we making it hard. No problem. Right? Or you can say I'm free. You can say I'm rich. You can say everything I set my hand to prospers. You can say I have the victory in all things. You can say all the world means me well and treats me kindly. Everyone is a link in the chain of my good. You can be free or you can be a slave, but you chose that. Didn't have to be. So I'm trying to talk to you. Your awareness is always trying to talk to you. But you don't know who's talking. And then you listen to your human mind, be like, for real? Really though? Girl, have you seen your credit? They just ran your credit and told you no. Girl, please. Pharaoh came in. I'm not letting my people go. I'm not letting this citizen go, this slave to me go. Your ego mind, your human mind is the Pharaoh, wanting to keep you here. And you cannot speak to Pharaoh as Moses. Moses knew it. You can't speak to your human mind just as Veronica. It ain't gonna work. You got to speak as I am. I am that. Where's Veronica at? Don't worry about it. I am is here now. I am is talking. And Pharaoh's like, oh, shit. Where's Veronica though? Don't worry about it. I am is talking. We're leaving. Just to let you know, we're leaving. And that's the end of it. And every time Pharaoh, yeah, we're leaving. Goodbye. I'm no longer that now. I'm that now. I'm this now. I'm not that. I don't care how long I was that. I'm this now. And there's nothing you're going to do to talk me back into Egypt. Egypt never got better. Anybody recognize that? It never got better. The Pharaoh never sent an apology. Hey, man, I was wrong. It doesn't work like that. That part of you that you're being right now that you don't want to be, there's nothing wrong with it. If you just don't want to be it, choose something else. Leave Egypt. Leave this place this being, this aspect of yourself, this character that you want to leave it. Identify yourself as something else. Identify yourself as the promised land, not the house of bondage. So I'm barely making enough to own my business, barely enough. Okay, now I'm making $1,000 a day. Now you're in the promised land. But guess what? Between the promised land when they left Egypt and the promised land, what happened for 40 years? What happened?
They wandered.
They wandered. They went around and around in a circle. Wandering. What is wandering? Leaving the house of bondage to the promised land. What is wandering? How do you do that? What does that look like? What is wandering?
Confusion, uncertainty.
Okay.
Running circles.
Yes, confusion, uncertainty. Double what?
Minded.
Double-minded. I have it. I don't. I'm rich. I'm not. I make $1,000 a day in my business, and then the night comes, and there's $200 in your account, and you're like, see. Well, see how I'm not there right now? You've abandoned it. You're not there anymore. You've abandoned it. Then you come back and you be like, well, where's the money? What do you mean? You left. You're double-minded. You let what you see dictate what you say. That's double-minded. I have it, I don't. I have it, I don't. I have it, I don't. God is good all the time. By Tuesday, you'd be like, I'd be like, God is good. You'd be like, where? When? Who? You done run out of gas. Double-minded. You're going around and around in this circle. I have it, I don't. I have it, I don't. I am it, I'm not. I am it, I'm not. I am it, I'm not. And how long did it take for them to get out?
40 years.
40 years. What does that number 40 represent? See? It represents conception to birth. Only 40% of people make it that long, 40 weeks. They use a physical understanding of conception to birth, human, and they made it a time so you can understand psychologically what it means. Conception, right? Pregnant, when you realize, when you conceive, the idea, your desire is conception. Birth is the expression. Until they could actually start expressing, believing themselves to be that idea, they wandered. It took them 40 weeks. That was how long it took to complete. Your 40 weeks may be 4 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, maybe an hour. It may be, but as soon as you say you are something, you are that. You just don't believe you are it because when you look around, you don't see it. Everything looks like it's the same, but it's not, because you're not the same. If you have a job, right, and you go from janitor to, let's say, we don't have to make a huge jump, but let's just say, janitor to maybe like assistant manager. You work your way up. Are you still at the same place? What?
Yes.
Yes. So it still looks
The same.
It still looks the same, right? Like you said, right? But what's the difference?
Your title, your role that you play, your responsibilities.
So who's different?
We
Your
are.
title.
That's the only thing that has to be. You. You're different. That's the only thing that has to be. And because you're different, don't you get paid different? Because you're different, don't you probably wear a different outfit? Being a janitor and something else? You keep looking for things to change. It ain't got to change for you to blow up. All you have to change is to blow up. It's you. You could be working in the same place, making 2 checks higher, the equivalent of like 2 levels higher. And you're working in the same place. I said it last week. My brother's had like 3 different titles at the high school he works at. He's still working at the same high school. But his check ain't the same. So why do things have to look different for them to have a different outcome? Because everything, the place you're in is affecting you according to who you are. It's treating you like who you are. It's a physical reflection of who you're being. So when you reorganize, remodel, reframe your concept of self, you could still be in the same environment and be in a completely different position. The place doesn't have to look different for it to be a different experience. That's the point. It doesn't even have to look different for you to be getting paid different. You may have an office now. Before you had a mop, now you got an office. And you're in the same place. But we look, right? We go within to make something, and we make it. This is the last thing, and then I'll get to the questions. We say something. We say, we have a situation, or we're just in life and we're wanting something different. So we're in a moment and we're sitting down and we're saying to ourselves, I'm aware of something. I want to be something. Whether it's I want to be something, or I want to do something, or I want to have something. What you have to do in that moment is then say, okay, is this what I want? This is what I want. I'm clear. This is what I want for myself. Okay. And you now start to identify yourself with that. You call yourself that. You tell yourself you have that. I am a wife, or I am a husband, or I am healthy, or I make $1,000 a day, or I have a great relationship, or I have a great business, or I have a brand new car, or I have whatever. You identify yourself with that. And that is it. The mistake we make is as soon as we make that agreement, we go to look outside where there is no agreement. It's the equivalent of if I borrowed $5 from Veronica and I told her I would pay her back, and then I call Latoya up and say, or then if Veronica borrowed $5 from me and then she agreed to pay me back and she didn't, and then I call Latoya up and say, Latoya, where's my $5? Would that make any sense?
Nope.
Are you the only one here? Hello? Would that make any sense?
No, and
Not at
Latoya would think you lost your marbles.
Okay, so then what makes you think you haven't lost your marbles if you're asking for somebody to do something that they didn't agree to? You didn't talk to them about it. You decided you were the manager of a store now. You're just a regular employee. You decide you're the manager of the store. So now you're gonna go in there and tell them you're now the manager? Is that what you're gonna do?
No.
And they still treat you like an employee, and then you just say, F it, I'm no longer the manager because they didn't treat me like a manager. You didn't talk to them about nothing. They don't have no agreement with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're looking outside for everybody having an agreement for something that they never even were around for. Your agreement that you made was within you. And you look on the outside world for them to validate it. And then you drop it when they don't. So now I'm mad at Latoya because she won't give me $5 for something she was never involved in. That is what you're doing. When you go to look to the outside world to validate what you have decided or chosen to be internally, you have made the same mistake. When you decide I want to play a different sport at school, or I want to do something different, and you go to that school and you start thinking that you start wondering or worrying about what everyone else is going to think, the coaches, your friends, the other players, and when you start, you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. The agreement you have is within. It's an internal agreement. The person that got their $4,000, did they ask the person for $4,000?
Nope.
Did they ask anyone for $4,000?
Nope.
How do you know who to ask? If you need $10,000 right now, how do you know who to ask? Now, before you speak, let's think about it. How do you know they still got it? How do you know it's not earmarked for something else? How do you know they still have any money? Period. Do you know all those things before you ask? And even if you do you think you have a right to it? How do you have a right to it if it's not yours? How do you know who to ask? If you're willing to be honest, yeah, you think you have good ideas, but how do you know who to ask? Have you ever borrowed money? Have you ever borrowed something from someone and it was the worst idea you ever had and you wish you didn't?
Yeah.
Where you're like, man, I wish I would have never. You borrowed a jacket and you gave it back. You gave it, put it in the dry cleaners and everything. And everybody's like, then the person's like, oh, well, I don't like the way it smells now. It's like, I put it in the dry cleaners to make sure it was nice for you. Yeah, but I don't put my thing in it. You're like, damn, I wish I would have never did this. You didn't even do the wrong thing, quote unquote, but you still regret it because you went to the wrong person to get what you needed. You don't know. Your human mind doesn't know. I don't know if Karen woke up and she was going to get coffee and she accidentally stubbed her toe. I don't know that. So then when I asked her to run a marathon with me later, and she says no, and I get an attitude, Karen don't ever want to do nothing. She just want to sit up in the house. She never got to tell me that she stubbed her toe. She's not dying, but her toe is a little tender. She doesn't think running 26 miles is a good idea today. I don't know that, but I judge Karen on what I think I know. Just like Alexis told me something she thought she knew, but you can't prove it. And you don't even think whether you don't even realize it. We jump to so many conclusions and assumptions about everyday things in everyday life and wonder why when we are disappointed when they don't work out. But we couldn't prove that what we were thinking was right in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
When you want something, you now identify yourself with that thing. Now, I want a house in 5 years. Okay, but you tell yourself, I have a house now. I have a brand new home. It's just the way I like it. Your awareness got to be there with you. It's not going to do anything to you that's going to make you suffer. It's got to suffer with you then. It ain't stupid. You may be. It ain't crazy. It is. You may be. It's not. It's not going to do anything to hurt it because it's got to be hurt with you. And its nature is not to be hurt. Its nature is to get the $4,000 and not sacrifice anything. So it's going to, I have a brand new house. And if you want just period or in this area or whatever else it is, and you keep the Pharaoh out, how you going to do that? Now, you know, those are mansions over there. Now, girl, why you do that? You over there working at Walmart. What you mean you want a brand new house? You don't got enough money to get to it. You don't even, not even a manager. The Pharaoh will come. And trying to talk to them as Alexis and Veronica ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. I'm just going to tell you now, from personal experience, it ain't going to work. There's a reason they written these stories. They wrote these stories that way. They're letting you know I am has to come into the scene. I am should always be there. It is always there, whether it's in consciousness or unconsciousness, whether you're aware or unaware. But you better start talking like you have some sense, as I am. No, I am's on the case. So church is on the move now. This is what's happening. Right? And you don't go outside looking for anything. You don't have an agreement with that person. You don't have an agreement with anyone outside of yourself. Anyone. That means your spouse, partner, significant other, your cousin, it doesn't matter. You don't have an agreement with them. You went within. And so you let your agreement within you and you do the work. I have ways and means you know not of. My ways are higher than your ways. I don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. I don't got to get this thing from somebody and regret it for the rest of my life. You ever borrow $2 from somebody and they remind you like it was $2 million for 20 years?
You didn't pay me back.
Right. Just whatever it is. But you asked the wrong person and you asked as the wrong person. That's why the situation now. When you ask as the person that goes within, then you're going to get answered as the person that's within. I am is now answering. Whatever you desire when you pray, believe you have received it and you will. Are you talking to a person or are you praying to a person? There's only one person you should be praying to. Everybody else, then you're just talking to. Separate the two. The twain shall never meet. Anybody you see in physical form, you should not be praying to. Period. You can only talk to them. Kissing the Pope's hand ain't saved nobody. Ain't got you another second.
Mm-hmm.
Let you know. Crying, fainting, falling all out. In my life, I've seen a couple popes die. So they going out just like you eventually. Just like all of us will eventually. So what's kissing his hand going to do? It can't make you live longer than make them live longer.
8:45.
Isn't it crazy how people kiss the Pope's hand and won't even kiss their significant other's hand? Before you kiss the Pope's hand, did you ask that the Pope wash their hand?
Ew.
Oh yeah, but you see people crying, kissing the Pope's hand, everything. Grown men kissing the Pope's hand.
Air kisses.
They doing the whole thing. They just get to it. Let's go. Make it snappy. Right? So whatever you want, that's an agreement within yourself. All you have to do is be faithful and true and loyal to yourself. The same thing you want others to be to you, you have to learn how to be to yourself. Mm-hmm. Faithful, true, and loyal to your desire. And identifying yourself with, I am that thing. I'm not moved by the outside. I'm unmoved in here. So what I see moves. Right, Vanessa? I'm unmoved, so what I see moves. I'm not moving. I am that. There ain't none of this. Oh, I'm back. You didn't know I was gone. Your awareness like. Right? All right. Questions, comments?
Thank you, Coach. This was another on fire session. Thank you for just reminding us like we are all powerful. We are all knowing. We claim what we desire. We create what we want, and helping us to look in the proper directions, even when our human minds try to, distract us. Just the way that you teach this information, it's informative as well as educational. but the best part is it's entertaining. So it's easy to follow along. So thank you again and again, time after time. We already talked this week about my experiences this past week. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to just be reminded you're not crazy, you're not tripping, you're on the right track. Just keep going. You got this. So thank you, Coach. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. I agree. The reason why I've came years ago. When you first started, I was doing this, but I haven't been very intentional with mapping out my life. And this is something that I realized that I need, and Sparkle Bailey mentioned it in the morning meetup. And I was like, oh yeah. So I put it on my calendar. I was very intentional and I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. This is huge. My mind, I understand, is what I created everything that I have today. And the reason why I don't have what I desire is because of my creation, you know? Appreciate you.
What does it say? It says that, first of all, it's good to see you, as I remember first meeting you. So it's good to see you,
Me
right?
too.
I never forget. I know exactly who you are. So it's good to see you. Number one. Number two, as soon we the only reason we the only reason we don't have what we want is because of our refusal to identify ourselves as having it.
Mhm.
So creation is finished, so nothing is new. The only reason if we go back to that buffet, think about it. If you got back to your table and everything was at the buffet, if you got back to your table and you looked over there and you looked at your plate and something was missing, and then you looked back at the buffet and it was over there, then why isn't it on your plate? Right? Because you missed it for whatever reason. You either missed it because you didn't know it, didn't see it, didn't pick it. But it's not that it doesn't exist, it's that you haven't possessed it. It's not away from you. It's not separate from you. It's meaning it's not within your ability to experience, but you can't experience what you don't have on the plate.
Right.
So it's our inability to identify ourselves with it. That is putting it on the plate. It's saying, I am now this. I'm not going to be it tomorrow. I'm not going to be it later. I am that thing now. And that's putting it on the plate and you start eating it, meaning your awareness starts to say, oh, this is who we are. It starts to identify itself as the thing that you now have on your plate. Right? Whatever you have on your plate is as real as anything, but whatever you have on your plate is what you're eating. Whatever you don't have on your plate is as real as what you do have on there, but you can't eat it because it's not on your plate. You can never experience anything that you're unwilling to identify yourself as. Because what does it say? A mind can receive nothing except what's given to him from heaven. What's given to Alexis, everything you have is from heaven. It's from within you. And everything from within you is given to you because of what you're aware of being. You're aware of being it. You can't give what you don't have. You cannot give, right? What you don't have. Everything you have is what you give. This is what's getting. This is what's giving. And so when we want to get, I want to be a millionaire. But up here, we won't give it. I'm not a millionaire. It's out here. Money's hard. Money's tight. Well, then you can't give it. You don't have it. Right? Everything starts from here. The body was the first thing I am made physically in our human experience. And then it gave the body, it gave Alexis, it gave itself. Because I'm made in my image and likeness, I breathe my breath. This is just me. I'm just in physical form. So I'm going to give myself the same ability to choose anything that I had before I had this body. I still maintain the same ability. I'm in a finite body, so my experience in this body is temporary. But my gain, my skill, my power is unlimited because that's what your imagination is. You can imagine anything. And whatever you're willing to imagine, you can have. And then whatever you're willing to identify yourself with, if I imagine a new house and I identify myself with it, that's what it is. If I imagine $4,000, meaning I'm now going to, this is me. I have $4,000, right? And you start to identify yourself as that. I am that. That's what it is, right? So everything you have is because it's been given from heaven because of your awareness of being. So anything you want to express now, you now take that awareness of being. You start identifying yourself with that. You are in the middle. Oh, do it like this. All of us are in the middle. This is all of us. We'll say Alexis, but Alexis represents all of us. And all of these things, everything is shooting out from you. You create this thing that's out here. This was creation. Creation's finished. You've already put it out here. It's just a matter of whether you want to go get it. It came from you. It's for you. It's yours. This desire is to get you to say, oh, to get your attention so that you now bring it back and say, oh, okay, yeah, this is me. This is wealth. This is me. I am wealthy. Because I am is in here. Wealth. I am wealth. You identify yourself as that thing. That's what a desire is to get you to trigger, is to trigger you to start identifying yourself with what you desire. It's not to desire it. It's not to be like, oh, I sure wish. God don't wish. God don't hope. God don't, for what? God's the creator of all things. God, I sure wish there was light. We'd still be in the dark. Right? No, I am. Your awareness doesn't wish, but it only assumes, it only declares and decrees. And your word does not come back to you void, but accomplishes all your good pleasure. Your word does not come back to you void. I'm sick, I'm stupid, I'm broke. It's going to take a while. Maybe in 5 years. Maybe I'll get a house one day. Maybe somebody will love me. Maybe people will be nicer to me. Maybe, okay, well, you're just pushing it off. You just like the national debt. You just keep kicking your good down the line. You just, well, you'll never get paid off. You'll never have that thing. Does that make sense, right? You declare and decree the end from the beginning. You say, I want a house. That's the end. You declare that from the beginning. I now have a house. I want a business, I have it. I want a relationship, I have that. And then you decorate it. I want a relationship, I have that. Okay, what kind of relationship do you want? What kind do you want? I want this person treats me like this. It's not about them. You're not talking to them. You are literally, I am. And you're saying, I have a relationship, let's say, or I have a business, anything you want. Doesn't matter what this is. And then you tell yourself here how it goes. It's like this, it's like that, it's like this, it's like that. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to me. It's like this, it's like that, it's like this. Now I am says, okay, this is what we are. What's the best version of me to make that? Here they are. Oh, hi, it's nice to meet you. Oh, hi, Alexis. I heard you're starting a business. I want to invest. Oh, hi, your awareness of being finds all of its counterparts in physical form. Because all of these counterparts are I am too. When you introduce me to somebody today, they say I am just like you say I am. So that means who you have is the physical version of who you're being in here. That is what you have. So if you want this to change, stay the same, you change or stay the same. This doesn't matter whether this is a person, a business, your health, your money. It is a physical reflection of all the things that you are believing in here. That's what it is for everybody. Anything, it all works the same. You doing it for something different, but it all works the same. According to your faith, be it unto you. This is your faith. Everything in here is your faith. This out here is the be it unto you. So they don't have free will. They're not operating on their own. Your money is not operating on your own. Your partner is not operating on your own. Your business is not operating on your own. It is according to your faith, your belief, your facts, the things that you're willing to fight me for. No, it's that. I make $1,000 a day, and you fight your mind. I'm going to say it that way. You fight your mind like you fought me. What'd you tell me? It's the truth. You said it's true. Can't prove it, but you told me it was true. What else are you willing to do like that? We're not willing to do that for our good. We're willing to do it for mediocre things or things we don't even like or care about. And when it's $1 million, hey, I make $1,000 a month. I make $1,000. You wake up the next morning like, oh, my bank account. Now you gone. You gone. And I am sitting there going, what? Anybody seen a light? What? And so then what you doing? Going around and around the wilderness. This is how everything that was made is made this way. Everything starts from I am. First thing, body. But it's the physical expression of I am. Your body, your partner, your money, your health, your business, just everything starts is the physical expression of I am. So it's not on its own. It's not doing anything. It doesn't have its own thoughts, its own feelings, its own emotions. It doesn't. Not in your world. It doesn't. In its world, you don't. That's why when people say you're the creator of your reality, remember how people say that? That's what you're doing. You are creating as reality. You create it. This is the physical expression of your reality. It's the mirror. right? So you can have anything you want. It's just what did Neville say? He said, you already are what you want to be, but it's your refusal to believe it, to fight for it, to say, I am that. It's your refusal to believe it that stops it. You already are. As soon as you say you are rich or you are healthy, as soon as you declare yourself to be anything, you already are that thing. But it's your refusal to believe it, not say it, but believe it. Meaning, I chose that, and that's just what it is. I can't prove I'm going to be somewhere in an hour, like you said, but you sure fought over it. We fight over things all the time. We assume all the time. But now when we talk about this, all of a sudden it's positive thinking. All of a sudden now we're being unrealistic. All of a sudden now it turns weird. It's like, what do you mean? This is the most true thing you could ever speak. Right? This is what we have to understand. Right? It goes that way for anything. So wonderful. All right. Anyone else?
The positive thinking comment just sent me. I'm glad we have mute buttons so we can laugh. Nobody can hear us laugh. Because when you said that, I was thinking about all the times I got accused of being a positive thinker when it was just like I was declaring my reality the whole time. I was getting in the headspace that I needed to be in to attract my reality and to just be who I needed to be. But to others, she's just a positive thing. I bust out laughing when you said that. Like, you damn right I am a positive thinker. Like, just,
Well,
oh man.
if you want to use the term, positive thinking is thinking on your behalf, thinking for your best good. It's like
Yes.
a farmer. If you want a watermelon orchard, a positive farmer uses watermelon seeds. That's just what it is. That's a positive farmer, if you want to say it, right? They planted a seed that is going to turn up the way they want it to turn up. That's all it is. It's knowing how to choose a thought that's going to reflect a physical outcome. So let me say this real quick. Let me get this. I'm going to give this to everybody. All right. Karen and I did this yesterday. In full, on time, every time. All right. In full, on time, every time. What can you apply that statement to? Each of you as individuals, what can you apply this statement to? In full, on time, every time.
Turn in your paper. Turn in your homework.
It could be, but okay, give me another example. Somebody else.
Customers paying invoices.
Okay, now see how different those two were?
Mm-hmm.
Because that means this statement is a tool. It's for you to turn your awareness that whenever I use this statement, I'm referring to whatever you want to refer to. Whatever you want to refer to. I am loved, chosen, prioritized. It's a tool. What can you apply it to? Each of you as individuals, what can you apply this to? Use these things and make up your own. I'm just giving you examples. But what can you apply it to? I am loved, chosen, and prioritized.
As a brand.
Say it again.
As a brand.
You can for anything. People always pick my stuff. I don't care if I'm in a room full of 100 different dressmakers. Everybody, I am loved, chosen, and prioritized. Everybody chooses my stuff. You can use it for a significant other. I am loved, chosen, and prioritized. They always love to spend time with me. I'm always on their mind. I'm always their first thought. I'm always their last thought. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Yourself.
Yourself. That's all you need to talk to. If you talk to yourself, you're automatically talking to them. Because what does it say? Hero Israel. The person who knows who you are, listen. If you know who you are, the Lord our God is one God in all, above all, and through all. There's only one consciousness. So it's an echo. You want to hear something, say something. But if you want to hear something from them, say something to you. Right? All my customers love me, choose me. I am always loved, chosen, prioritized. All my customers pay me in full, on time, every time. I'm loved, chosen, prioritized by my spouse. or by my customers or my clients. They all think I'm the best. They all think I'm the greatest. They couldn't imagine going anywhere else. You're not talking to them, you're talking to you. Right? Like LaToya said, I always get great service. Always get great service. Tool. What can you apply that to? These are just tools to get you to focus your consciousness on having an experience a certain way. So you don't walk out and say something stupid like, let's see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. What do you mean? If you can't see it, who's supposed to see it? Let there be light. We'll see how it goes. Can you imagine God saying that? So why are you saying? No, I always get great service. I'm always loved, chosen, and prioritized in full, on time, every time. It could be paying your bills, getting your money. It could be whatever. I always get great service at a restaurant, at a car dealership, at getting your car serviced, going through the airport. I am loved, chosen, and prioritized. They always bump me over to the front of the line. I walk right through. I don't care what these people going through. It's like Karen told me yesterday, hey, coming back from out of the country, hey, so what? I'm always going to get home. I'm going to get home safe, easy, and she's here on camera right here with everybody not working and everything else coming from out of the country. Right? So make up some statements. My point is, these are statements. They're just tools, but they're things to help you focus your intention, like Alexis did today, for you to tell yourself something is true and fight for it. Meaning, not budge off that. I always get great service. I don't care if you go in and the first 2 minutes you're at a restaurant, nobody said anything to you. They spilled the water on the ground. They tripped over you and bumped into you. Do you say I always get great service, or do you do this? Oh hell! Which one are you gonna do? You got to make a decision every day. You choose this day who you serve. Serve these. Serve these up. Cook them up. Serve them to yourself. Eat them, right? Serve them. They're going to lord over you. You're going to serve them. This is going to be your experience. First 2 minutes look like hell, coming out looking like heaven. You may get free food and a $50 gift card to come back. All because you stayed in your frame. I don't care if the person tripped over me, spilled water on my shoe. I don't care if they haven't spoke to me. I don't care what they say. This is what I said. I always get great service. And you stand on it. And you'll see it come to pass, because your word does not come back to you void, but accomplishes all your good pleasure. All of it. Not some of it, not a little bit, not just a little bit. No. I don't want just a little bit. I want all of my RESPECT, all of it. I want the Costco size. I want it all caps, not just a little bit. I want all of it. And that's what you'll get. You'll get all of it. Right? So you start writing some things down to help you focus. Right? To remember who you are and set expectations about how things are going to go for you. In life overall, all the world means me well and treats me kindly. Everyone is a link in the chain of my good. Everything is always working out for me. I can't lose. I always win. Period. It's what it is. Everyone pays me on time, loves what I have to offer, and loves to pay me what I want, and loves to refer others who do the same. That's what you tell yourself something. Don't you know who you are? You tell yourself over and over and over, and you don't budge. You don't move. You don't let the outside world look like it's, well, maybe didn't you see how they talked to me? Didn't you see how they spilled some water on my leg? I knew we shouldn't have come here. There you go again. I mean, you missing more than witness protection. Nobody can ever find you. You're here one day, God is good all the time, and next day you're like, God who? Who are you talking about? What? You don't know who, they don't even know who you're talking about anymore.
Move back.
Right?
And it's 9:06.
Yes. All right. Anything else before I let you all go? It's always good to have you. Thank you all for coming. Anything else before I let you all go? Any questions, comments, anything like that?
I am complete and whole on Tuesday.
That's right. On Tuesday. That's right. This is all good on Saturday, but when you walk away from here, remember who you are. I don't care how you do it, but get you a Parrot app and tell yourself something and let it just play over and over while you sleep, while it's in your earbuds walking around. Remember who you are and act like it. There ain't no crying. There ain't no whining. There ain't no failing. There ain't no losing. It's victory only, victory always. You choose your mind, choose your life. You change your mind by changing and you change your life, right? You decide, you choose. You cut off all other options. That's what decide means. Decidere, Latin, to cut off. I decided this is what it is, so I cut off everything else that's the opposite, period. I went left, right is automatically cut off. I went up, down is cut off. You choose, and the opposite is automatically cut off. Right? All right. Vanessa, anything you'd like to say before I let us all go?
I just want to thank everyone who came today. I shared the link to multiple communities, so shout out to my Schmilies, my masterminders, shout out to the morning meetup. And if you want to subscribe to get notifications to the call, I'm sharing the link. And if anyone's interested in working closer with Coach Lucky, they can email, and I'll put that on the chat as well. And yeah, just thank you, everyone. Coach Lucky, today was awesome. Today was super cool. It was fun.
Wonderful.
And you definitely had my attention.
Yeah. There you go, everyone. Hey, well, thank you all so much for coming, all of you. It's always so nice to see old faces, new faces, and even newer faces. Thank you all for coming. You're welcome to invite anyone you know. Anytime, on these calls, that's what they're for, is to get the message out and stuff like that. And it's wonderful. So thank you all for coming. Remember who you are. You are the best. You are the greatest. You are number one. There's no one like you. You are one of one. There's no one like you, right? And so no one can stop you. There's no one to compete with you. There's no one to compare yourself to. You are one of one. There's never been anyone like you. Will never be, right? So you're here because I am thought I wanted to have an experience and decided Alexis was the one to do that. Christina was the one to do that. Alexis was the one to do that. Sparkle Bailey was the one to do that. It decided that, okay, I'm going to create a physical form to go out and do what I was doing. It came from perfection. So you are perfect. It didn't come from perfection to make something dumb, right? Make something meaningless, make something useless or small or weak, right? Or frail or no. It created from power. So you are power. You have the breath of power in you. Breathing in, that's the only way your stuff started working was with breath. And all you're doing is recycling it, right? So you are who you were before you got that body. You're still that. Act like that. Or do whatever it takes. Use whatever tools you need to. Affirming, scripting, imagining, meditating, whatever it takes for you. Cursing yourself out, punch yourself in the face. I don't care what you do, as long as it works, to remember who you are.
Yes.
And to act like it at all moments about everything. All right. Well, happy Saturday. Thank you all for everything. And I'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Gracias.
Good one.
Thank you,
Go,
Coach.
Coach.